welcome. And welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. If you're new, thank you. If you're a current subscriber or if you're back, also thank you. Of course, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all of the things that help me get some traction in the algorithm, because isn't that just life, right? Algorithms. Anyway, I wanted to do this quick intro. I did not do this on the Scorpio video. That's okay. But I wanted to do this quick intro because it's 2023 and we are no longer going to assume that people know things without us actually telling people those things, right? And asking for what we want. So I do want you to subscribe to the channel. I want you to come back, press the notification thing, bell thing, so you know the videos are posted whenever they get posted. I would love that. Also, I do have an Etsy store. The link is below, because in true manifesting generator form, my soul cannot just have one thing to focus on. I have to have a bunch. So I do have that. I actually have 2 Etsy stores. One of them is on vacation for now. What else? I am working on getting personal readings back up and running since I've been back, but also just kind of trying to surrender to the flow of that. I mean, I know that'll come exactly when it's meant to. Was there anything else? On Instagram, I post daily, quickie energy reads, like, tarot updates. I was posting those on YouTube, but like on YouTube Shorts, but there's like a 60-second limit to those, and they've just been longer than that. So my Instagram is going to be linked below as well, so check that out. What else? I thought that there was more, and now I'm like drawing a blank, because that's what happens when you are a little vulnerable, I don't know. I guess I'm going to leave it there. If there is anything else, I'll mention it at the start of the video. Hello. So I usually do these readings like in order, the zodiac and the human design profile, but I didn't really want to do them in order this time. And I also didn't want to be the one to choose the order. So I have everybody written down on pieces of paper, and I'm just doing a lot of this. See who is next. Let's see. Leo. Okay. So full transparency, I tried to do your reading on Friday, and it just did not work. Like, my ADHD was off the charts. I couldn't even sit here long enough. And maybe, it's always like, especially when I have an intention to sit down for a reading, whatever starts happening either around me or with me, it's always part of the message. So that's why I'm explaining it to you, because maybe you have been experiencing a little bit of the same energy to some degree. And I still feel a little bit of that, but I'm like intentionally trying to focus on one thing, which is still a struggle. Before I even kind of get into that whole story, just as a heads up, we're going to pull an oracle card for the overall vibe. And then we're going to, of course, get some more info with the tarot. So, oh my gosh, like I was sitting here, I couldn't even focus on my words to get them out, and then I'm like bouncing all over the place. I started cleaning, and then I was, and then I tried to start organizing one of my rooms, And it was like one thing turned into 12. So every time I touched one thing, it would turn into 12 other effing things, which, felt like I just ended up getting buried in those things. And it's still not done. Because I just got so overwhelmed. I just walked away from it that day. Same with even this reading. Like I said, I tried to do it on Friday and it wasn't happening. So anyway, like I said, everything is always part of the message, right? So, maybe you have been experiencing a little bit of that to some degree, needing to really focus on actually focusing. So let's move on. Let's focus on this reading. We'll get through it together. And the overall message is pleasure. I love that. And I love that for a Leo. And I also love that the day that I'm doing this message is the Leo full moon. So maybe that's why I couldn't even do it on Friday. Who knows? I love this. And pleasure can come from so many different avenues too. To me, this just feels like reconnecting to what you find pleasurable, or even allowing some pleasure into your life. Like if things have gotten to be a little bit too serious. There's all of these butterflies that are on here too. Butterflies talk about transformation. Clearly, even just the, I can't even think of the right word for this, but the way that the light is around this figure, they're smiling too. So this is definitely something that they are happy about. And I'm missing my little, there you go. Let's get some tarot. We have the Hierophant. We need 5 more cards. This is also, clearly nighttime, which for some reason is calling my attention. 2 more. I have a lot of, a lot of major arcana out here. Yeah. More than half. I love it. Okay, I had to move that light so it wasn't glaring off these cards here. So definitely sitting here, just kind of connecting with the reading and even this pleasure card. And, like I was saying, the butterfly element, we are, it is just a very transformative time, So let's just work our way through this beautiful reading. And also, I know you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, you're being so annoying, Liz. I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm literally trying to really focus. So please bear with me. And again, if you kind of feel the same way, then, we're working through this together, bringing that focus. And also, it feels like this a bit, actually, because it's like, if there is some sort of transformation going on with you, and if it is a matter of, trying to transform or transfer into a place where you find more pleasure and joy out of your day-to-day life, your relationships, your job, what you spend your time and attention doing. This is how it feels. It just feels like energetic. It feels like there's so many different things that are going on around you. And then, just being in the middle of all of that. So we start with a Hierophant. Oh my gosh. I love that we start with a Hierophant. We're ending with the High Priestess. Oh my gosh. The Hierophant is, tradition. It's almost a little rigid in a way. It's organized something. It could be organized religion. It could be organized faith. It could be traditional marriage or just more traditional type relationships. It's also about teaching. So, it's almost like handing down knowledge from generations. It could, even astrology would fit into that because, it's an old language. It's an old practice that's been passed down through centuries, right? So, it could be that. It's having the traditional 9 to 5 corporate type of job, right? I'm sure you get the point. And there's also this element of, I want to say, imprisonment, because just look at these 2 figures here as they're bowing down or, kneeling to this figure here. It's almost like, they don't have a choice, or their choice has been, there's no critical thinking or decision making because it's almost like they've given up their power. But again, you can give up your power to a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily have to just be organized religion, or, you can give your power away in a relationship. You can give your power away in a job. You can give your power away to your family because, there's expectations and societal blah, blah, blahs. It's paired with the 7 of Pentacles. This could be something that you have put a lot of time and energy into getting to where you are. There's also, even just a bit of accomplishment is a feeling that I'm getting. Like, it's not bad. This isn't bad by any means. So don't, I'm not saying that it is. But the 7 of Pentacles talks about, like I just said, putting your energy into something in order to see it grow. We have this figure here that's watering this plant, and the intention of watering this plant is for it to grow. So there's this understanding that you can't just plant a seed and expect something to happen. You have to foster that growth. You have to spend the time and the resources on the thing in order to see it flourish. So again, this could be something that you have been working on for some time, really putting a focus into, and maybe it is something that's brought you stability and a cushy foundation. And again, it's going to depend on your situation. So it could be your job, it could be your relationship, it could be even your family, and family is chosen or biological. So take it as it fits here. But to me, there's this transformation that's happening in here. Going back to even these butterflies over on the pleasure card, because we have this Justice card, which is Libra. This is Taurus, Libra, Leo, Cancer, or Pisces. I'm just pointing out that they don't, it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody in your existence here. Just pointing that out. The Justice card talks about karma, scales balancing, court. It could have something to do with a legal case. It could just be, like either getting what you deserve, good or bad or otherwise, or somebody else, if there's somebody else involved in the situation. It's reaping what you've sown. Like that's, this whole situation here, what you've put into it has gotten you to this point here. And interestingly enough, a little bit, it's almost, the dress that this person is wearing almost looks similar to this. And maybe it's just because it's green. Maybe that's where the similarity comes into play. But, darker hair, putting in the work, but then getting to this place of, like I was saying, even over here, accomplishment. Reaching a point where, that's where you wanted to get to. Maybe this is even something that you're working on now. Like maybe that's the focus, or maybe that's, you're trying to find something that also brings you an element of pleasure. So it's not just all work and no play, because I think Leo needs play. And, there's a lot of sacrifice in this card too, or at least a little bit. There's this balance between the light and the dark pillar here. So it's keeping those elements at bay because the scale is balanced. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but on their hand, like the flesh has been taken away and they're holding a pomegranate there. And pomegranates signify fertility. Now, that doesn't have to be reproductive fertility or at least biological reproductive fertility. It could just be fertility of opportunities. Like there are plenty of opportunities available to you, or even just abundance available to you. Of course, it could have to do, like I said, with biological reproductive fertility. Yeah, it could. I don't want to take that completely off the table, like the literal table here. But it's also, like I said, there's this sacrifice element to it because the flesh is taken off of the hand there. And so this opportunity over here, or what you have been working towards, it's like, what has been the cost of that to you? And especially paired with the strength card down here, it's taken a lot of your time, like determination. You've had to be resilient, protective almost, because we have this, it kind of looks like an egg or something in this fire here. And then this figure, are they trying to capture this thing or are they protecting it? Honestly, I feel like I could go either way. There's frogs and snakes here that are all trying to swim over to that too. It's interesting that I don't think I've ever even noticed that on these cards, and I've had these cards for years. So that might even have some significance to you, either frogs or snakes or both. Or maybe if you see one or both of those symbols somewhere, it would just like confirm this message for you. But like I said, that is a card of Leo too. So I absolutely love that you are showing up in your own reading. Leo also showed up in I did on Instagram. I know I probably mentioned it at the beginning message on this video, but on Instagram I do, daily quickie minute and a half or so readings. And I did one for the Leo full moon too. And the sun card came out, which is also Leo. So it's like, Leo, this is, an important, or I don't even know if important is the right word, but it's just, there's definitely something significant to this time. Sorry if you can hear the dog barking next door. And then we have the Queen of Wands, which is fire energy also. It's, I think, specifically Aries, but still that fire element. And the Queen of Wands is, I see her as being like a bad bitch because like she knows what she wants to do, and it's not gender related. I'll switch to saying they, them, because it's not gender related. It's the energy of the suit. So they know what they want to do. They know exactly how they want to do it. There's this confidence because look at even the picture being straight on. That's confidence right there. To me, anyway. I also feel like these three people can be the same person. So it's almost like this is literally your journey in this reading here. Start here, really putting in the work, really dedicating yourself to get to a certain point, like to reach your goal, basically, get what you deserve because you have put in all this time. And then the Queen here is like, there's also this element of like taking a deep breath, or I don't want to say relaxing because I don't get the feeling that she's relaxed by any means, but almost like stepping into their full power. Because you go from standing here, right, to being in your throne over here. This sense of accomplishment, reaching that goal, and then literally just like embodying it. Oh my gosh, I am obsessed. This is so powerful, I feel. Like, I mean, this really just kind of feels like a message of either validation, confirmation, like exactly what you're doing, or even what you want to do. If you've been considering something along these lines, yes, absolutely. Start it. Do it. And I love that it's paired with, oh my gosh. Leo, okay, that's why I couldn't do this on Friday. Because there's no way, I don't think, that I would have been able to pull this message out. And I didn't even pull it out, right? I mean, you saw the cards come out. But there's just no way that this message would have been able to come out on Friday. And that's the thing about even timing. Maybe you wouldn't have even watched it. I don't know. But, oh my gosh. I said before, I love that the Hierophant is the beginning and I love that the High Priestess is the end, because in this depiction of the High Priestess, this has a lot of fate energy to it. Destiny. I see the High Priestess as our direct connection. I can't really see the camera, but I hope that this is in view. This is that direct connection to our star player, our higher self. It could be God, it could be source, divine. If whatever you connect to for a higher power, if you connect to a higher power, and if you don't connect to a higher power, then this is just your own intuition and being so fully connected to your own being, like your own human being, that this is like pure authenticity is like how it's coming out. But I mean, okay, I hope you can see these are pomegranates on the cloth here, again with the light and dark pillars, which are in opposite order as what's on the Justice card. But in this depiction of the High Priestess, this feels more about fate and destiny. We have this little baby here. We have this figure that's holding a book. There's a natal chart there. The symbols of the elements and the planets here. So it's almost like this whole thing. Again, if you've been already working on it, if you feel that fire literally within you, that's like, I feel like there's something more for me. There is. And this is a message about, and it's going to involve something that also brings you pleasure. Or even maybe you just need to connect to that element within yourself in order to either complete this thing if you've been on this journey for a minute, or to even get started on it. I'm just honored to even be present for this, for you guys. I'm not gonna lie. And then we have the Four of Wands, which again even has this element of destiny type of thing, because there's this binding element going on here with the ribbons around their hands. There could be somebody else involved. The Four of Wands generally talks about union and harmony. It can be a card of marriage, but it's also about reaching this place of stability and foundation. A lot of people say these Four Wands look like 1111. So 1111 is that universal code for new beginnings and going the right direction and all of those things. So that could have something to do with it. I mean, this could be even just meeting the right person that's going to take you to the next level, or maybe you are the right person for somebody else, or there might even just be some level of partnership involved there. Page of Pentacles. This is the card of the Apprentice. It's like, starting something new, but it's practical and has something to do with either your money, time, your physical body, but it's learning something new. It could be researching, it could be studying. But this is also the act of getting into that new thing. Like, when you start a new job, it's that. Like, it's only new for a short period of time, but it's like you're the new person on campus. And then we have the Two of Cups. There could be somebody of a different race that's coming in also. And I'm only saying that because it's shown up twice. So just want to point that out. And Two of Cups also talks about relationships, soulmate. So, you could meet this person at whatever this new venture is for you that we've been talking about through the whole reading. And again, it can be relationship as far as romantic. It can also be platonic. It could be a business partner. But this is shared values. This is two people coming with their full cup. So it's equal reciprocity. Like what you're giving, you're getting equally back. And same with the other person. Ace of Swords, new ideas, truth, honesty. Oh my gosh, this was so beautiful, Leo. I am obsessed. I'm going to leave it there. And honestly, thank you so much for allowing me to be part of this reading for you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.